Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for another beauty related video. Today, as you saw in the title, we are doing a ranking video, a palette ranking video, which is some of my favorite content to watch and to create. Today we're doing the fall palettes ranking video. Should I have put this up, in September? Probably, but you know what? It's better late than never, right? So I have with me today in this lovely basket 14 palettes that I am ranking for you. So the last time I did this, I think I ranked 25 palettes. So I will have that linked above and at the end of the video if you want to see that, if you want to compare. I decided not to go back and watch that because I didn't want that to skew my ranking this time. So how I am ranking for this video is based on how much I actually have been reaching for it, because we're well into fall, okay? So how have I been reaching for them? How am I enjoying them? How am I excited to keep using them for the rest of this season and beyond? So that is how I'm ranking them. Now, some of them are lower because the quality isn't as good as it once was, either because things are coming out that are better quality or because I've just had them in my collection for a long time and so they're performing differently. So that could be a reason why they might not be as high as they may have been in a previous video. Or something that's older might be higher than it was in a previous video because I've just been enjoying those colors more and that color story more this season. So it doesn't mean that like whatever I said in the last ranking video was wrong. It's just that I really rank these based on my current personal preferences. Okay, so like I said, I have 14 palettes here to go through. I'm so excited to share them with you. I will have them all listed in the comments below. If I have any Amazon affiliate links, I will also list that. So if you see an Amazon affiliate link, it is something I can make a little bit of money on if you click and buy through that link, but please do not feel like you need to. Now, I have decided to include in this ranking things that are also discontinued if I am still actively using them. And the reason why I'm justifying that is because I don't want these videos to be just showing you all the new stuff and making you have makeup FOMO. Because guess what? You might have enough makeup in your life. You might have zero makeup in your life and you just enjoy watching these types of videos, and that's okay too. You don't need to go out and buy every single palette, even if it's one that looks really cool or is a favorite of mine or not. But I wanted to keep discontinued items in here if I'm still actively using them, because maybe you have these palettes in your collection and you've forgotten about them, or maybe you have something similar. Now I'm gonna let you know right now, a spoiler, without telling you what palette it is, my number one palette for today is a discontinued palette. And I still reach for it constantly and I'm excited to share it with you. And if you know of anything in the market that is not discontinued, that is similar quality, similar color story, please let me know, because I am on the hunt for something like this that is not discontinued, okay? Outside of that, the other thing I want to mention is that I am wearing one of these palettes on my eyes today. So as soon as you think you have found which palette it is, leave me a comment below, and at the very end, I will let you know if you were right. Let's get into number 14. So number 14 is going to be from Juvia's Place. This is the Magic Mini, and this is a palette that, while it has fall-leaning colors, it's not a strictly fall palette, but I still reach for it probably the most in the fall. Now, I will be honest that lately, I've been reaching for it more than I normally would because I'm in a project with this, and if you want to see that project update, it will be up next week. So because of that, this is being reached for more often. So I kind of took away those SKU numbers and really thought, how much am I reaching for it in relation to the others for fall time? This is a very messy palette currently. So there are several shades in here that work beautifully for me for fall time, We've got these two shades right here. We've got a reddish orange shade and an orangish brown shade. And then we've got this more like pinky red shade over here and this brown sparkly, beautiful. And then we've also got some other colors that really work for fall time for me. So this is why, like, this is a palette that I will reach for, but there are also shades that I don't really use in this time of the year. So that's why I just the bottom. I'm already just opening this. This is a mess. Okay, so that is number 14. Number 13 is another palette from Juvia's Place, and I just want to say I'm so sorry if there are bad shadows and everything. Lighting is a work in progress over here, and that background is driving me nuts, and it will be fixed, hopefully in the next couple weeks. Pause for the jet that's flying overhead. So the next one, number 13, is also from Juvia's Place. This is the Bronzed Rustic palette. And this palette is one that just has colors that are so traditionally fall, right? Okay, on me, this center red is very pink leaning though, so I don't really reach for that one in particular, but I use this palette with other palettes in the fall, or just this orange and the browns and the sparkle, okay? So it is a smaller palette, which means that I don't have as much variety of what I can do with it, which is why I don't reach for it as often. But if I'm traveling in the fall time, this is one I highly consider. If I just want something quick and easy to do, this is an absolute go-to. The formula is stunning. I love, love, love this formula. Number 12 is one that I'm pretty sure is discontinued, but I honestly forgot to look before the start of this video, but I haven't seen it anywhere in a very long time. But this is from Violet Voss, and this is the All of You Forever palette. Now this is one that has colors that are just so perfect for fall. You've got the greens, you've got the browns, you've got like this taupey, you've got these shimmers that are just stunning. But here's the thing. This palette is very old in my collection, and so the formula, especially of this really dark matte shade over here, this green leaning black, is starting to dry out a little bit and starting to perform differently. So I'm not reaching for it as often as I used to. But if I'm looking for something with this color story, I definitely go here first, okay? Because this is beautiful. The shimmers are still performing really well. It's just that the mattes are getting a little drier. So I'm really using it more for the shimmers than for the mattes now. And that's why it is ranked at number 12. Number 11, I hope I'm staying with these numbers correctly, is actually from one of my favorite, if not my favorite, eyeshadow brands, and that is from Nomad Cosmetics, and I have here the Ghost Town USA palette. Now I know what you're thinking, that's a spooky palette. Guess what? You can use a spooky palette in fall, because guess what? Spooky month is in fall. And I use these shades and these colors throughout all of fall, okay? This is one of my favorite palettes from Nomad. But I don't reach for it more than I reach for some other color stories for just speaking strictly fall. Now, if I'm going for grungy looks, absolutely. If I'm going for spooky looks, absolutely. If I'm going, I will use this throughout all of the year, but for fall time, I don't use every single color in here, and that is why it's ranked a little lower. Formula is amazing, especially these shimmers. The mattes are so fun to work with. And it has a decent amount of variety. You can do quite a bit with this color story, and it's definitely one I like to use for fall time. I would say my favorite shades to use from this are going to be this whole first line, and then like this pinky shimmer here, and then of course the greens. These are such beautiful greens for fall time. It is definitely going to be a deeper, darker, more grungy leaning look. Just keep that in mind. All right, number 10 is one that I think is discontinued, but I think that the shades are now available separately, or at least one of the shades is available separately. I don't remember, but it is from Ofra Cosmetics, and it is actually a collab palette that was done with What's her name? I just watched her today. Allie Dawson. Why did I blank on her name? Okay, so this was a collab palette between Ultra Cosmetics and Allie Dawson, and it is one that I honestly only reach for in the fall time because all of these shades go deep and dark and very fall, okay? With the exception of maybe the shimmer in the middle, which the shimmer is the one that I do believe they have separately now that you can buy. I don't know if the rest of the palette is also available separately, but if it is, all of these shades are work beautifully. Now, Ofra Cosmetics eyeshadows are not my favorite formula, which is why I don't really reach for it as often as other things, even though I love this color story and it is just such a perfect, simple palette for fall. This orange is a very deep orange on me, and this yellow performs beautifully, absolutely beautifully. This red, I can make it a little bit more red leaning, or I can make it look a little brown actually, especially if I mix it with this green. Now this green is a little too grungy for my like with the rest of these colors, but if you're going for that deeper, darker look, then there you go. That's the one. This shimmer though in the middle, I love it. I use it as an eye topper. I even use it as a highlighter. I don't know if it's meant to be that way, but that's how I like to use it. But I do like this one for fall. It's just, there's not that much variety. I used to get more variety from it, but honestly, I like to use it just as is and without other palettes. So I tend to use like 3 different looks with it, but I do enjoy using it and I do enjoy the formula, even though it's not my favorite. But I also really like the packaging, even though it's not fall themed. It's so easy to travel with. Okay, for number 9, we are already in the single digits. I have one that again is not a traditionally fall looking palette, but it is a green palette, and it is actually from the Star Wars collection from ColourPop. And this is the Star Wars Mandalorians, The Child. And if I open that up, you're gonna see that this is greens and browns and beautiful, beautiful sparkly shades. Now, I used to reach for this one quite often in the fall time because these were greens that I really was enjoying. These were, I would say, kind of an introduction to some of these types of greens. I don't reach for it as often as I used to though, because it is older and it is starting to dry up a bit. So the matte shades are a little on the dry side now, and the shimmers are not performing exactly the same, with the exception of Precious Cargo, which is this beautiful one up here, which I actually bring in to several other looks, okay? But this one is still one I really do enjoy, and I'm hoping to get some more use in it before I feel like it's just not performing at all. It's not quite there, but that's why, like, that notice of change. And it's also, ColourPop used to be a favorite company for eyeshadows for me, and then I kind of branched out a little bit and found much better formulas. I still think that ColourPop has really good formulas for drugstore prices though, and that's why I continue to buy from them and why I continue to try them out. This one is just starting to underperform because of its age. But when I first got it, and for at least the first year, if not longer, it worked beautifully. Okay, number 8 is going to be another one from Nomad Cosmetics, and this one is a fall palette they put out last year. This is their Fuji 5 Lakes palette. First off, the packaging is stunning, absolutely stunning. Looks like an old-timey like oil painting, and it feels like that. Beautiful. The inside is not necessarily your typical fall palette though. While you do have the reds and the yellows, you don't really have a green in here. Instead, you have blues and like this pastel-y blue, and like just so many blues and lighter colors in this center part. So this is kind of missing like some greens that you would think are very traditionally fall weather, right? Now the reason for that is because of the location that they did this. And so it makes sense when you look at that, and it makes sense for areas that I've lived in traditionally, because I have the fall foliage around me, but then in the mountains it's snowy and it's white. And that to me does scream fall, but for a lot of people that just doesn't. So I know that this one didn't go over very, very well for specifically fall weather. At least I don't think it did. I was hearing some rumblings about that. But formula wise, this is perfect. So if you can think of this as more of a just whenever palette, then you can get past this and you can work with it because it's beautiful. The formulas of these shimmers are fantastic. Now I actually reach for this the most in winter, but the second most in fall. And I love it. I love the way that the yellows perform on me. The reds do lean more pink on me, but that's just how all reds lean for me. The blues are beautiful, and I'm really impressed by the yellows here. Like, they work so well on me. Number 7 is also from Nomad Cosmetics, but it's one of their smaller travel palettes, and it is the Nomad Abadai AUH palette. So this one right here. Now they did not make these as a fall palette or fall palette collection. They had 4 of them. I believe 3 of them are still available, including this one. So definitely, if this is of interest to you, check out any of their upcoming sales. This one just screams fall to me, but it is very much one color story. Like, you can make a lot of different looks, like as far as different levels of looks. I hope that makes sense. As far as like if you want it to be lighter or deeper or smokier, but it's still gonna all be in that same orangey brown tone, which is stunning. These mattes perform really, really well, but for me, my favorite in this palette are the 2 shimmers. Those shimmers, you can take this from daytime looks to nighttime looks so quickly. This is a great travel palette, like awesome size, awesome that it has a good size mirror in it. And it's just a color story that I use actually all year round, but especially in fall. So if this is the kind of fall look you like, this is a great palette. If you're looking for a little bit more variety in your palettes though, then this might not be for you. But for me, I reach for this color story so often, and that's why it is ranked higher than some of the palettes that have more variety in it. Okay, the number 6 is going to be another drugstore palette, and it is also one that is discontinued. I don't know if this brand ever brings back palettes that they used to, but if they're going to bring back one palette that they've done, it needs to be this one. So this is going to be from Essence, which is like amazing price point. And this is their Hello Berlin palette. This just screams fall on the packaging to me. The packaging screams fall, and the color story screams fall. Now, you might not look at this and be like, oh, there's much to do with that. But honestly, I get so many different looks from this one palette. And this is my go-to year-round travel palette because I can do this as just everyday looks, or I can dress it up and make it look perfect for even the fanciest of looks. Okay, so this one is so easy to travel with, so easy to use, so versatile. In fall, this sits on my desk. This sits where I do my makeup. This is my go-to everyday fall palette. I have been using this for such a long time, and I have not hit pan on anything, and it kind of drives me nuts. The formula, because I've had it for such a long time, I am noticing that the mattes are starting, just barely starting to perform differently. Just means that I need to work with them a little bit more to make them work exactly how they used to. But because of that, I'm going to continue pushing using this palette because I love this palette. If this ever gets brought back, this is an instant buy, like instant buy. It's just so good, so good. I probably, if I'm talking like year round, this is probably the second palette I use the most, maybe the third. It's high up there. Okay guys, we have made it to the top 5. And for number 5, I am doing another ColourPop palette, and it is an older palette. I do think that these come back in stock, not all, but they're not always in stock. So this one is also from the Star Wars line, and this is the C-3PO palette. And this one is just gonna be your yellows and your browns. And it is just such a stunning palette. Unlike the green one, the child one, this one has not changed its quality, even though I'm pretty sure I got them at the exact same time. This one is still holding up like it is brand new, especially those shimmers. Those mattes are not drying out yet. Like, I can use them no problem. They perform just like when I first got them, and I've had this again for at least a couple years. This brown gets really, really deep very easily, but it is one that's easy to just, you know, put less on and blend it out to a little bit of a lesser, deeper look if you're wanting that. But this shades, I really, really like it. The only thing that I wish was different with this is that I wish they did one less shimmer and had one more matte. That is my only critique from this. Other than that, this is such a stunning palette. These colors are some of my favorite colors to reach for in fall, and I never thought that that would be the case. All right, number 4 is going to be from Nomad Cosmetics. I told you guys they are probably my favorite brand, and I have a lot from them, but I also have a lot I don't have. If you have a favorite palette from Nomad Cosmetics, let me know what it is, because I need to know if there's one missing from my collection that I must have. So the next one is also from more of their spookier lines, but this one falls much more fall and spooky leaning to me. This is their Haunted Europe palette. These colors make it so easy to use for fall, because you can go more dark and grungy and spooky, but you could also go like the turning of the leaves colors. You've got this orange and this green that I love to use throughout all of fall together. Like, I actually posted, I think I posted it, that we went to a pumpkin patch and I used literally those 2 shades, and it was beautiful. Yeah, it is. It is up as a reel, a TikTok, a short, all the things. I will try to link it somewhere. I love using those. So this palette is one that I can use throughout fall for just matte looks or shimmer looks. I can go glam, I can go everyday. I can do so much with it. The only thing for fall that this palette is missing is like those red tones, but I am okay with that because this orange just takes the cake. Okay, it really does. You've got the purples, you've got the pinks, you've got the blue, you've got the brown, you've got the orange, you've got everything, and the shimmers, beautiful. I'm so glad I picked this up last year. I did not get this when it originally launched, and I missed it, and I was so sad about it. And so when they relaunched it last year, I was so happy to get this. And this is currently still available on their website. I don't know if this is one that's going to be relaunched or not, or restocked or not once it sells out. So this is one that if you've been eyeing, maybe look into it when the sales come, okay? But beautiful palette, great size mirror. They always have great size mirrors. And this one I'm reaching for so often. Okay guys, we are down to the top 3 palettes. I hope you're enjoying this so far. If you are, please make sure you are subscribed and hit that thumbs up. I don't want you to miss any of this content from me if you are enjoying it, and I appreciate your time with me. All right, for number 3, this is another one from Nomad Cosmetics. I know, and it's not even a fall one. I believe this was released around St. Paddy's Day, so springtime. This is their Ireland Wild Atlantic Way palette. But guys, I use these greens throughout fall and throughout the whole of the year, but really throughout fall. Before this palette, my love for greens was with that ColourPop, the Child palette, and the All of You Forever palette, and then I got this palette. These greens, baby. These greens, these golds, these blues. Oh my gosh, you make beautiful colors, beautiful eye makeup. The formula, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And there's so many different looks you can make with this, even though there's so many greens and you're like, oh, I can only make a green look. No, you can make gold looks. You can make this like brown look. This one I reach for so often, every single year, but especially during fall time. Beautiful. Okay, number 2 is also from Nomad Cosmetics. I know, you're like, girl, do you have anything else? Yes, but their formula is just so beautiful. I love it. This one is actually a fall palette from them. This is their Hudson Valley palette. This is another one that I did not get when it launched, but I got it when they relaunched it. I do not know if this is still available on their website. If it is, and you like this color story, I would highly suggest getting it before it's gone. I'm not trying to make FOMO, but this one, if you like this color story, is great. And if you aren't in the market for buying new makeup, maybe you have something similar, because this is fall. This is so fall. Not only is the packaging top notch. Why did I do that sound? I don't know. This packaging is top notch for fall, okay? The embossing in here is a little fall and a little spooky, okay? We've got this names in here. We've got Cider House, Fall Festival, Corn Maze, Farmer's Market, Ghost Tour, Great Pumpkin Patch, Apple Picking, Foliage Trail, Mountain Hike, Apple Cider Donuts, which I just tried for the first time this year. I love apple cider donuts. We've got Oktoberfest, we have Wine Harvest, we have Leaf Peeping, Bed and Breakfast, and Farm to Table, and every single one of these shades is embossed with something that kind of similarly goes with the name. They went all out for the packaging, the naming, and the freaking color story, okay? We've got our browns, we've got our greens, we've got an orange and a golden and a green shimmer, we've got some reds, we've got some orange, we've got some yellow, we've even got more of this like winey color, wine color, so like just so much in here. You can make so many colors with this, and this is just, this brings so much joy to my heart, especially in fall time. And I reach for this quite often for fall looks. I do reach for this in other times of the year because there are so many shades in here that can work with other things. But for fall, this is the baby that just, if I could travel with this, I would. The only reason why I don't is because I'm afraid of traveling with palettes that I love so much. Okay, so yeah, this one, she's pretty, she performs well, and brings so much joy. But yet she's not number 1. She is not number 1. And that was a hard decision. I was going back and forth between that one and the one I'm about to show you. And she still made it to number 2, and I love her that much. So that must tell you how much I really, 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 really love the number 1 spot. So the number 1 spot is from a brand that, honestly, they keep saying they're just rebranding and they'll be back. I've been hearing that for way too long. I have no idea what's happening with them. I hope that they come back, and I hope that they continue releasing eyeshadow palettes, because I have some palettes from them that I just love, and I need them to be back, and I need this formula back in my life, okay? This is from the brand Ace Beauté, and this is the Falling For You palette. I know, you're like, I haven't heard of that brand in forever. I know, trust me, they need to get their butts in order, and they need to get back into business. Super cute fall packaging, absolutely on point. This color story, guys. This color story. This color story when I open this palette brings me an immeasurable amount of joy. Like, I will just open this up and stare at this. It is stunning. Stunning. It is a much older palette, but the formula is still working perfectly. I don't know how. I don't know why, but it's beautiful. The mattes are so perfectly pigmented. They work stunningly. The deep purple over here with this orange, you can use this for Halloween. You can use this for fall. You can use this year round. It is gorgeous. Gorgeous. The names are even on point. Okay, the names we have in this are apple, squash, pumpkin pie, autumn, pine cone, cherry pie, spice, cranberry, chestnut, persimmon, cider, and candy corn. Just beautiful naming, beautiful packaging, beautiful formula, and like, yeah, there's only one shade in here that I don't absolutely love, but I use it as like a base shade or like a transitional shade, and that is the squash. And it's just because that's the one shade that's a little on the lighter side, but you need that. You need that to help your looks come together, right? Okay, so that's honestly the only one that I don't love, but everything else in here is top notch. It is still top notch, and I've had this for years. It is not performing any differently. It's gorgeous. Now, I will say, I do think in a video not too long ago, I may have mentioned that one of the mattes was a little dry. I kind of just used my finger and got a layer or two of the top off, and then there we were. So it was just the top layer that was a little dry. This is beautiful, guys. Like this one. Yeah, I know that there's not a green in here, and that is kind of why I was debating between this one and the Nomad Cosmetics one, because I do strongly feel that greens need to have a priority in here. This shimmer kind of has a goldish greening lean to it, and that's kind of where my justification was, because I, like, in my soul knew I wanted this to be number one, but I was like, there's not a green, and you have to have green for fall. And so because this gold kind of shifts a little green leaning, I was like, okay, that's good enough. That's good enough. This will be number one. So I really hope that this brand comes back, and I really hope that they get back to launching great palettes, because this was a slept on brand, I feel like. Like, I really do. I loved it. I still love it. And I definitely reach for this the most in fall. All right, guys. Well, that is my palette ranking. 14 different palettes. Do you have any of these? Do you have any color stories that are similar, that make you want to go and make some fall looks from the stuff you already own? Any of these palettes that you're like, you know what? I think I might actually need to get it. Let me know in the comments below, as well as let me know if you guessed correctly as to what was on my eyes today. If you guessed the ColourPop Star Wars C-3PO palette, you would be right. In fact, there was 3 shades from this palette on my eyes today, and that is it. So it is the shade Tatooine, which is up in this corner here. And then it is Companion, which is the opposite corner here. And then finally, oh, it's a mess right now. It's Programming. Sorry, it was kind of messed up right there, but it's in this corner here. So 3 corners. That's what it's in on my eyes today. I absolutely, oh no, there is a 4th shade. I did use the shimmer, the Bolt. So I used all 4 corners today. Bolt is just on the very top, just to give it a little bit of a, you know, a little bit of a sparkle at the top, kind of by the eyebrows. So this is the palette I used. Did you get that right? Did you get it wrong? Either way, I'm glad you played along, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in a video very, very soon.